don't, I'm still very confused and terrified to even ask. Like, hey, do I work here? It's like, no, kid, get out. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. So when was your first break to get out of the UPW to go out? When was your first break?
So, even before UPW and during, I'm starting to get a lot more. I ended up teaming with Nova, Mike Bucci, who was a former ECW guy. And through him, I started getting booked a lot, like on the East Coast, and getting to see like the tri-state area, like independent scene, which was hot at the time. And then, got to go to Japan early on.
Who'd you go for?
I went for 0-1, which was Hashimoto's group. They
Yeah.
had just started up. And so I started going over for 0-1 for a bunch of tours. And that, again, that's, learning that style, learning Japanese, the Japanese style of pro wrestling, which is a lot more strong style than what was going on here in the States at the time. So that really started, getting the word of mouth out about me, and I started getting a lot more bookings. I went on a tour of Europe through Andrew McManus, who was running World Wrestling All Stars at the time, and that's where I met Scott D'Amore, Jeff Jarrett, Jeremy Borash, and this is when TNA had just begun, and they saw me on this tour, and I came home from that tour, and maybe 2 weeks later got a call to asking if I wanted to come do basically a tryout for TNA, and that was early summer of 2003.
I mean, so what was that tryout like? I mean, what did you have to do there?
So the tryout was I flew in, got to the Nashville Fairgrounds, that old building.
Yeah, been there a few times.
Yep. I actually wrestled the last ever show in that building. Me and Chris Daniels against the Rock and Roll Express.
That is cool. It's also cool who you got to wrestle.
Another one of those mind blowing. If you would have told 12-year-old me that, it would have just blown my mind.
Yeah.
Unreal. But yeah. So I get there and they put me in a 6-man tag, and it's me and CM Punk and Matt Stryker against three other guys I can't remember at this time.
They give you a tryout match in a 6-man tag.
Yes,
that's horrible.
Yes. It was the Wild West back then, so it was weird. They just put me out there, and and we do the match. We win. I think I got the pin even. And they call me next week. All right, you're coming back. Call me next week. You're coming back. All of a sudden, I'm in a feud for the X Division title, and I was like, I guess I work here. I don't, I guess I got to,
Still no contract or anything.
No, nothing yet. Eventually, I signed like a per show contract, and guaranteeing me X amount of dollars per show, and then but that was all a slow process. It was like weeks when I was like, and they start featuring. Yeah, maybe my third or fourth match, I'm wrestling AJ for the NWA title at the time, like in the main event. So I was like, I guess I work here. I mean, I don't know if they, they're featuring me like I work here. I don't, I'm still very confused and terrified to even ask. Like, hey, do I work here? It's like, no, kid, get out. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. What are you doing there?
Right. And then eventually, they started locking guys into actual contracts, when they actually started to become more of an entity. And then the next year when they went down to Orlando and so, but I started then and just kind of was just thrown into the mix right away.
So, Jerry, you've done a million tryouts for a million guys. You've signed a million talent. Have you ever stuck a guy to 6-man tag for a tryout?
Oh, the only one I wish I had was you. No, I've never. I can't even imagine that unless you're looking at the other two guys there. But you just get it's just so convoluted and watered down. I can't imagine that. But everybody has their preference there. So, but
yeah, it was strange because it wasn't even like a tryout. I'm thinking I'm going to be on before the tape starts rolling or anything. No, this was just on the show, on the weekly paper.
Oh, you were actually on the show.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a pre-show.
No.
That's even stranger. Well, I don't know anything about this guy, but I'm going to put him on my TV
That's right.
show.
I don't know if this guy's any good. We may want to hire him. Yeah. Let's put him on our TV show. That's where we can't edit it out.
And put him over on top of it, right?
Yeah.
That's right. We're going to put him on.
It was just a cold match. And I think, at that time, Scott D'Amore was helping out, and he was confident enough, and he knew that I was perfectly capable
Well,
that I
these
wasn't.
guys that seen you, Scott, are the guys that seen you in Japan, so they knew you
Yeah,
were.
yeah, like they knew that I wasn't, they knew that I don't think they would have put me out there if they thought there was a chance that I was gonna, you know,
Well, to me, it kind of tells me if they saw you, they like you, they were going to hire you anyway, so they just put you there to be
that
safe.
yeah, that might have been the case, but at the time, again, I didn't know, I didn't ask, I was just,
Yeah, yeah,
just there,
yeah.
just
Just
doing what
give
I
me
was
a
told.
number and I'll go.
100%, 100%, yes, sir.
Was that Jerry and Jeff Jarrett? Was that when they were
Yep.
running TNA at the point, right?
Yeah, this was Jerry and Jeff. They were running the show. Dutch was there at the time, or he had just gotten there. He just come back. I think Dutch was there. Like Glenn Gilberti was helping out, Scott Demore, and this is the early days of Dixie. Dixie had just joined as a partner, like not too much too previous before that. But yeah, this was Jerry and Jeff's show.